Hi, Grayton. I wish all of you continued good health and much happiness. Open your book page to chapter 9, a glossary of usage. You can spell this word in two ways. You can say glossary in American accent or glossary in British accent. Okay? It's up to you. This chapter includes a glossary that shows how to identify and correct many common errors in English usage, a section that focuses on the double negative and discussion of the importance of using non exist language. So, these are the main points I will discuss in this chapter. Move to page 282 about the glossary and highlight the definition of the word glossary. A glossary is an alphabetical list of special terms or expressions with definitions, explanations, and examples. So, a glossary appears at the end of a book that includes terms within that book that are either newly introduced, uncommon, or specialized, while glossaries are most commonly associated with nonfiction books. In some cases, fiction novels may come with a glossary for unfamiliar terms. So, when you open a glossary, you can find unfamiliar words and terms, and glossary gives you the definition and explanation of these terms. You can find glossary in biology book, in world history book, in chemistry book. So at the end of any book, you can find a glossary. When you open a glossary, you find four labels: non-standard, standard, formal, and informal. So highlight these four labels. When you see the label non-standard next to any term in a glossary, non-standard means identifies usage that is suitable only in the most casual speaking or everyday speaking situations and in writing that attempts to recreate casual speech. So let's say that a non-standard label means that this word, or you can use this word in everyday speaking and everyday writing, but you have to keep in your mind that any non-standard word means grammatically incorrect. Okay, but you can use it in everyday language and writing. Now, if you find the label standard next to any word in glossary, standard means is language that is grammatically correct. So, non-standard means or shows that this word is a grammatically incorrect, wrong word. But you can use non-standard word in everyday language and speaking, writing. But if you find the word standard next to any word in glossary, it means that this word is grammatically correct. Okay? Now, formal and informal. Most of you know the main difference between formal and informal. Formal, it's a standard usage. So, standard word means formal words, okay? And you have to know that you can use formal words in serious speaking and writing situations. But an informal label means that these words can be used in everyday writing and in personal letters, for example. Okay, so these are the main labels found in glossary. Okay, but you have to know that non-standard grammatically incorrect, standard grammatically correct. Okay, this chart shows some examples of formal and informal words like angry, seemed, um, very impressive, totally awesome. You know that just this chart shows some examples of formal and informal words. Now, let's start with the difference between a and an. You know that a and an are called indefinite articles, okay? And you know that these words come, or these articles come before the nouns, right? Like a dog and ink. Now, what's the main difference between a and an? You can highlight or underline the difference between a and an. You have to know that a, you can use a before words beginning with a consonant sound, but an comes before the words beginning with a vowel sound. You know that the vowels are a, u, o, e, a. You know that in English there are five vowels, but consonant sound or consonants are all letters except vowels, like b, d, j, for example, p. Okay, so you have to use a before words beginning with consonant sound like p, d. You can use an before the words beginning with a vowel sounds and vowels. Okay, now I want you to move to page 2a3 and look at these examples. Now you know the rule of using the articles or the indefinite articles, right? Now you have to look at these underlined examples. A person, you know that P is a consonant. It's not a vowel, so you can use a before it. But look at an oracle. You know that oracle begins with the vowel O, so you have to use an. For example, an egg, an orange, an ink, okay? But a car, a doll, for example, a book, okay? Now, let's move to the exceptions of the use of these articles. Now, you notice here that this word begins with you, and you know that you is a vowel, but here, you has a consonant sound, like uniform. Now, focus here that if the words begin with you sound like uniform, unit, university, unity, unicorn, you have to use a, not an. So if words begin with you but the sound is a consonant sound, you have to use a. So look at these examples: university, unicorn, unit, unity, uniform. So in this case, you have to use a, not an. So you have to say a unicorn, a university, a uniform. Okay? Even the word begins with you, but the let's say that uniform begins with a consonant sound, not a vowel sound. Okay? But ugly dog or unbelievable day. So in this case, you have to use an ugly dog, an unbelievable day. But unicorn, university, uniform, you have to use a. Okay. Now let's move to another rule of the use of these articles. A hotel, you know that this word begins with a consonant sound H. A hotel, a horse, okay? But here, this word begins with a silent H. So an hour. So if the word begins with silent H like honor, for example, or honest mistake, okay? So these words contain silent H. So you have to say an hour and honest. Okay, guys? So if the words start with silent H, you have to use an, because in this case you begin with the vowel honor, honest. So an honor work, an honest mistake, for example. Okay, now let's move to other words. Look at page 2a3. Accept and accept. Okay, number one, you have to write, guys, any note written on my book, you have to add it in your book. Okay, guys? Now, accept and accept. You know that accept is a verb, right? And accept may be used uh, as a verb or as a preposition. So right above the word accept verb and right above the word accept verb and the preposition. Now look at these examples. Gary did not accept the bribe. I want you to write next to the word accept verb and the meaning of the accept, the word accept to receive. So accept is a verb, means to receive. I accept the gift. I accept your promise, for example. You know the meaning of accept. But let's move to accept. As I told before, you have to write that this word can be used either a verb or a preposition. Okay? Now, look at the second example here. Students who were absent last week will be accepted. Right next to the word accepted verb, which means left out. So, if you use accept as a verb, accept as a verb means to leave out. So here, the students who were absent last week will be accepted, left out. So right verb and left out. But look at the third example here. Everybody except me. You know the answer. Except here is a preposition, means excluding. Okay, so keep in your mind the word except has two meanings, leave out and excluding. Okay, and write the meanings. Let's move to another pair, affect and effect. You know that affect is a verb, right verb here, and affect may be used as a verb or a noun. Okay, so look at these examples. Working part time did not seem to affect his study habits. Right here, that affect is a verb, which means to influence, and you know the meaning of affect, right? Let's move to affect. Here, did the medicine affect a cure? Affect here is used as a verb, which means to bring about. Coach Carter said that the weather had little effect. Effect here is used as a noun, which means the result of some actions. Okay, so focus here that the word affect is a verb, means to influence. Effect has two uses. A noun, which means the result of some actions, and verb means to bring about. Okay, let's move to another word, ain't. Ain't is non-standard, which means grammatically incorrect. But in an informal use, you can use the word ain't. These ain't my shoes, but in an informal cases, guys. And if you want to speak to your friend, you can say, these ain't my shoes. But you have to know that the word ain't means isn't or aren't. But the use of ain't is non-standard. But in an informal cases, you can use the word ain't instead of isn't or aren't. But informal and the standard use, you have to use isn't or aren't. So you have to know that ain't means isn't or aren't, but it's non-standard, which means incorrect. But in an informal speaking, you can use ain't. Okay. Now, let's move to the last word, all right. You have to know that some people write the word all right in this way, all right, without a space. It's wrong to write all right in this way. Okay. Um, Again, guys, you know that all right, uh, you have to write all right in this way. This is the correct way. You have to keep a space between all and right. But if you write all right in this case, it's incorrect. Okay, it's wrong to write all right as one word. Okay, now you have to know that the word all right has four meanings. Okay, I want you number these meanings. Number one, satisfactory. Number two, unhurt or safe. Number three, correct. Number four, yes. Um, and you have to know that the word all right You can't write or write in this way. It's a non-standard. Look at the first one. The storm is over and everyone is all right, which means here, write the meaning safe. All right, I'll call you later. Yes. Okay.